Who was the best president?
Huh?
Who was the best president in your 87 years?
Well, I don't really have any personal who is a good. I don't believe in them. That's all. Because right now, what we have, they're not presidents. What they are is what do you call them? Dictators. What we got. So, and this isn't free country anymore. What it is what is that type? It's not socialism. Yeah, socialism is what we got now.
Oh, is that what we are now?
We are socialists, right?
Socialist?
Yep, it's no more what do you call it?
Democracy?
Democracy, correct.
When did
we are controlled by a dictator? What does this guy go wandering around and deciding who's a Muslim and who's the good guys and the bad guys? He's supposed to be listening to the people that tell him what's going on, not be a commander. That's a dictator. That's what you got.
So when did we become a socialist country?
Huh?
When did we become a socialist country?
Your Uncle Chuck Gilbert told me that back after World War II. We used to go visit him every Sunday, Nani and I, up when he lived in Los Gatos.
Right. He said his statement was the U.S. is more susceptible to socialism.
Well, that's since Congress has become a country all its own. They're useless.
Well, when do you think that occurred?
Huh?
When?
Well, if you have to ask the questions, you're in trouble. So there's no use me trying to answer them. You're a failure as far as you're just taking up room in my great nation. And I tell guys that. And if they don't like it, I look at them and smile.
What? What?
And everybody says, "You have a beautiful smile." I said, "It's part of me." I said, "Do you know, I was working on this house one day before we moved in, and I had a teacher, Mr. Walker, in Roosevelt Junior High back in those days, and he was the instructor for what we called, it was kind of like a handy shop, you know what I mean? It wasn't a class, it was just for us dumbasses that didn't take extra curriculums, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And we were in there, I made a little toaster one time, you know.
Okay.
It was just a kind of a, and he was a quiet guy, very well educated, went to Stanford and so forth. And anyway, he always he was a real quiet talking guy, a blonde guy. Years later, I'd say after the war, and I mean that was in 52, when I was 50, I was building it. I was right back there, this house was just here being finished, and there was no patio or nothing. And he stopped over here, and he had met me in California Supply Hardware. I went to get some stuff, okay?
Okay.
And he walked in, and I knew Hugo, and I used to help him out, and he'd give me credit for, I'd work a day or two on a weekend sometimes, and then I'd buy stuff when I needed it. But anyway, he met me in there, and he says, "Oh," he says, "I remember you at Roosevelt." "Yeah," he said, "Well, you were in that South Side." "Yeah." And he turned to Hugo, we were talking again, and he said, "This guy had a constant smile, one of the nicest smiles of a young person you ever wanted to see." And I looked at him, I didn't even know what the hell he was talking about, even back there. I mean now, you know, then. He come over here one day and tried to get me to start talking to God. He was now a evangelist.
Right.
And I said, "Mr. Walker," I forget his first name, I don't know if I called him by his first name or... I says, "You know," I says, "I've lived a good life, I guess, if you want." I didn't know what to say, which is rare for me. And I says, "I believe in God, but I says, I don't need all of this. I don't ask him for anything, but I thank him." I says, "Okay." Well, when he finally realized that he wasn't going to change me over or get me, then I never saw him again. Not that had anything to do with it. But he always remembered the smile, he says, I had. And I've even been told by other people. I tell people, I go up to them and I says, "Keep smiling. They'll think we're up to something." And they about drop dead laughing. Even if they're old grunters, you know what I mean? They love it. Okay. I cleaned up quite a bit this morning, but I didn't do everything. I got to rearrange some stuff.